Three, two, one. Hey, Team Destiny coaches, welcome to our call. What is today's date? It is March the 9th. I'm so excited for this call tonight. We're going to kick it right off because I want to give Ashley plenty of time to talk about her California trip with the new conference, new leader conference. Woo-hoo! All right, so Kaylee, take it away with our recognition.
We have so many people to recognize this month with this awesome picture that Amy made. Look at this. We got some new top leaders on the board. We got Lynn Ziner at 16. Success Club points. That's a lot of points. That's awesome. I know last month was the Team Cup month. So she's got way more points than that for her Team Cup. We didn't get to hear the finals for everybody's Team Cup, but she went diamond. People on her team went emerald, and wow, so that's pretty awesome and amazing. I'd love to hear that final number, Lynn. We got Amy up there with 16, me with 14, Carrie, woohoo, with 12 Success Club points. And then we have a lot of Success Club 5 earners. That's awesome. We got Cynthia with 9. That's awesome. Amy and Jennifer, Katrina, Alex, Leslie, Mia, woohoo, Rainey, and Tiffany and Ashley on there. Awesome. We also have a huge list of people that are changing lives. These people on this list all change at least one or two people's lives, and that's a huge deal and something to really celebrate, guys. We also have the top recruiters on here. That means those people not only change those people's lives with a challenge pack and habits, but now they have recruited people who also want to help others change other people's lives as well. So we got Cynthia on there with 3 coaches. Woo! Awesome. That's her top month. Awesome. And we got Amy on there with 3 coaches. Awesome. You guys are super rock stars. Thank you for leading the pack. I'm super excited to see what March brings. So that's it. Woohoo!
Awesome. Thank you, Kaylee. Congratulations, everybody. All right, let's kick the call off because I give Ashley plenty of time. A little bit about Ashley. She is my right-hand girl. She is my ride or die. She keeps me grounded. I talk to her almost daily, and she helps me. She is the co-founder to Team Destiny. She's a 2-star diamond coach. She is also all-star legend. Is that correct? You right? Yeah. She just returned from the new leader conference because she went 2-star. And she is going to be talking to us tonight about creating a monthly marketing plan. And I'm so excited. Go for it, Ashley.
Woo! Thank you. That was awesome. Hey guys, I just want to share a little bit real quick about national, about the new leader conference. And I don't know why it's not showing me on the screen. Am I big on the screen or am I little? I'm big? Okay. For some reason it wasn't showing that for me. Okay. So anyway, we had such an awesome time going. I went with Rainey to California, and we had an awesome time. And basically, the new leader conference is for everybody who was able to, by a certain time frame in 2016, hit 2-star diamond, and you keep your rank for 6 weeks until you are actually considered a 2-star diamond. And that was a really fun 6 weeks, just so you know. All I gotta say is if this girl can actually put her mind to it with a lot of encouragement from others, then you can too, all right? Sometimes I talk a big game, but when I have to put my feet to the fire, I'm like, ugh. Anyway. So yeah, if we can do it, you can do. So what I'm saying is, figure out how to do it. Get with your coach, sit down, make a plan. It's well worth doing this, okay? If you are working part-time, it is still a possibility, and definitely you are able to do this, okay? If you're full-time, you're able to do it just quicker, okay? So, but no matter what you are, full-time, part-time, you can do it this year. You have to hit 2-star by a certain time. I think it's in November, but I'll get you the dates later. You can look that up in the FAQs. If you hit a certain amount of elite points, you get to get your room for free in California. Rainey and I, we hit it at the same time, which was awesome because it was really cool being able to go out to California with someone else on our team. It was super awesome. We were able to share a room. We had a lot of fun. And Rainey and I are not even on the same, we're not on the same downline. And it made it really cool because we were able to talk a lot about certain things that we do and kind of brainstorm and share ideas. And Rainey is like super, super awesome with challenge groups and bringing community together. And I'm kind of weirdly good with technology. And so we were able to mesh really well and help each other out with certain tips. It was really great. Speaking of getting tips and stuff, one of the coolest things about going out there is this is one of the smallest events that Beachbody puts on. And it's the only time in which you will be able to meet, other than like maybe the top 10 when they go on their trip, it's the only time you're going to have this small amount of people all on the same page, because everybody who goes had to hit the same rank and the same level in the same year. So there's nobody who's like light years ahead of you, and there's no one that's light years below you. And so you're on the same page. It is one of the coolest events because of that. The amount of people you get to talk to, you really, I found myself being totally inspired and kind of awestruck by some people, and then other people I found myself life coaching them. Like, it was kind of odd because we were all still on the same page and yet we all were on different paths. It was really, really awesome. If you can get out there, do get out there. I'm going to screen share. No, I'm not going to screen share yet. That's not what I want. I'm going to screen share with you some pictures at the end to show you more about California and what it was like. But I'll do that after I give you the content. So if you're not like really all into seeing cool pictures, then I won't. I'll spare you. Okay, so let me pull up my chat. Okay, so here's the deal. We learned from a couple people who came and spoke to us. One was our top coach for 3 years, Melanie Mitro. One was Micah Folsom, who's also like top 10 coach. Another one was a girl named Ashley Smith, and she was awesome to listen to because she was just in our spot last year. So she came to New Leadership Conference the prior year, and now she's speaking at New Leader Conference. So it was really cool listening from her. The one, what I want to do is I just want to share with you some of the stuff that Melanie Mitro talked to us, just one of the talks. And I really think that I learned a ton from her, and I want to be able to share it with you. So I want you to know that this is totally 100% inspired by Melanie Mitro. It is not my own information. And I wish I could say it was, but it's not. And I will be sharing with you what I'm learning also. So I haven't mastered any of this. I'm just implementing as much as I can. So at the end, we'll have question answer, and I want your tips as to what you do in this topic also. And we're going to talk about our marketing plan, okay, our monthly marketing plan. So the first thing I want to share with you or ask you to do is think about your yearly goal. Okay, so for anybody raise your hand if you've read 12-Week Year. Yeah. Or if you have done Push by Chalene Johnson. Both kind of do the same thing. So you think of your yearly goal, your vision for the year. And what you want to do is think about what you want to see, how you want to feel like at the end of the year. What do you want to have accomplished? And then you're going to take that and you're going to kind of really, really dive in deep with it and just kind of bring all of your senses into it. How does it feel? What is it going to look like? What is your daily routine going to look like? And then I want you to break it down as to how you're going to get there. And you want to break it down into monthly goals. So when you do this, I want you to get together with your sponsor coach, your upline diamond, so that they can help you break it down. So for example, if you are, let me pull up my slides real quick. If your goal is to hit, tell me if you can see this. Can you see that? Okay, so monthly marketing plan. See, inspired, Melanie Metric. Okay, so your goals. If your goal is to go on the Success Club trip in 2018 to Riviera Maya, that's awesome. Super excited for you. Then what you want to do monthly is make sure that you're hitting Success Club. And I wouldn't just say Success Club 5, I'd say Success Club 10, because not only do you want to hit Success Club and get all of your points, you want to make sure that you're maxing out the amount of money that you're going to earn towards that, and make sure you have the money for the flights and whatnot, so it's actually paid for all by Beachbody, okay? So let's say that's your annual goal. Then your monthly goal for that is going to be hitting Success Club 10, okay? Now, like I said, get together with your upline sponsor, because that might not be how they suggest you break it down, but that's how I'm going to suggest it in this example. Maybe your goal is also to hit 2-star diamond by the end of the year and go to the new leadership conference, which should be your goal, just saying. If that's your goal, you want to make sure you're sponsoring at least 2 new coaches a month, maybe 3. You want to get together with your upline sponsor to figure that part out. So to go 2-star diamond, you need to have 12 coaches all together, and you need to have 1 diamond on your right and 1 diamond on your left. So you got to break that out with your upline diamond and figure out how you specifically can get there. If you're elite, if you want to go elite by the end of this year and you want to bring your team to elite status, you want to make sure that you're sponsoring at least 4 new coaches a month and having at least about 8 new challengers a month. So Success Club points 15 to 20, and making sure you're sponsoring 4 new coaches a month. So these are all things that you can think of an annual goal and break them down into monthly goals, okay? So you got to have your goals. Don't you love that little star diamond bracelet? So pretty and purple. Okay, next. So now you have your monthly goals, okay? What we need is a roadmap on how we're going to plan out that month. We need the marketing plan to be clear, to be concise, and to, like, I know a lot of you are visual, and I feel like I am visual, audio, like I need everything thrown at me for me to actually get it, okay? So I'm going to break it down visually for you and explain it. So you need to have take a concept and you put it all together. You got to know, first of all, before you even look at the calendar, let me go back. You got to know your target market, who you're speaking to online. So think about what you used to struggle with before you became a challenger. What was your struggle? Where were you? Were you a stay-at-home mom? Were you working full-time as a mom? Were you single and dating and having to feeling like you're blowing up because you're constantly going out to eat? Where were you personally? Write everything you can down about that person that you were. Were you a mom? Were you single? Were you working full-time? Were you home? Were you traveling a lot? Just write all that down. You're going to think about the audience you're speaking to. You're going to think of your biggest issues that you used to have. Maybe it was eating at night was one of your things. Maybe it was the fact that nothing in your closet fit you. Maybe you just could not get onto a fitness routine. So whatever it was, write it all down. And then you're going to start thinking about, so you had your biggest issues, you're going to start thinking about what is different now. So if that was your issue then, what has changed? What have you gotten better at? Because some of those things might not have changed yet. And that's totally okay. But you want to write down the things that you have gotten better. Look at that list and start writing down the after list, okay? So it's not just pictures here. You're not just looking at before and after pictures. You want to write down the feelings and the thoughts and the things that you were struggling with, and then look at the other side and write down what you are better at now. What has challenge groups helped you with? If we're talking about coaching and you're talking about finances, everything you were struggling, and for me personally, we used to fight all the time about buying organic food. I really wanted to make sure that everything was organic. My husband and I can't even tell you how many times we fought about buying organic food. Oh my gosh, it was really ridiculous because I was sticking to my guns and he was sticking to his, and it was awful. But now, because I have an income with Beachbody, he doesn't fight with me about it ever, like never. And he does the grocery shopping a lot. And he comes home with all organic, free range, non-GMO, blah, blah, blah. Okay. So, write these things down, write down the things that has changed. Okay. So that's who you're going to be talking to. You're going to keep that in mind when you're going through this and making your marketing plan. Okay. So one of the examples that Melanie used when she was on stage was when she first became a coach, she and somebody else decided that they were going to run a challenge group together. And the challenge group was going to be called like Bikini Boot Camp. And Melanie Mitchell was not like, she didn't care if she was in a bikini. She was more thinking of the weight that she gained when she was pregnant and wanted to lose it and all that stuff, right? And what she found is that she had a hard time getting anybody into that challenge group. But then the next month, and the other girl had like 10 people in it. The next month, she went to do a challenge group. She decided she was going to talk to busy moms who just want to feel comfortable in their clothing and, you know, like talk to those people who that she could relate to. And then all of a sudden she had 10 challengers and the other girl was invited to the same one, didn't have any. So point being, you need to think about who you are relating to. Okay. So marketing plan, we got to have it organized and you got to know what you're shooting for, or else you're not going to have a target. You're going to be shooting all over the place. Okay. So you have your goals, your year, and now your monthly goals. So on your marketing plan, you're going to look at the month strategically. Now this is where I had a hard time with before, and I'm actually getting a lot better at now. And I'm very happy because it kind of it gives me a peace now when I look at my calendar because I know what's going on. So you want to remember that we are based on monthly goals as a Beachbody coach. So I see a lot of people doing certain things that is not going to set them up for success when it comes to Success Club, when it comes to getting new challengers, things like running very, very long challenge groups. We've tried that multiple times, and I've talked to a lot of other coaches that have tried it. So like 3-month challenge groups, people, you personally are not focusing on new people every month then. And on top of that, the challengers in the group tend to fall off quicker. So that tends to be something that gets in the way with some coaches. So when we're looking at our calendar strategically, we want to make sure that we're keeping things like new challengers every month in mind, and people like making sure if your goal is to sponsor a certain amount of coaches, we have to have that in mind when we're looking at our calendar. So I'm just going to run through real quick. These are examples of what Melanie showed us, and then I'll show you my calendar. Okay, so the first Monday of every single month, she always has coach training in there. So all her new coaches start coach training. And your upline diamond, like me, Kaylee, Amy, Rainey, like we all are running coach basics once a month. And so most of us are trying to start it on the first Monday, but if they're not, get together with them and figure out when they're going to start it, because you want to make sure that these are all in line and you're not trying to do 5 things in 1 week and then have 4 weeks off. Okay. So coach training here, it says the first Monday. Then, hold on, let me read my notes so I'm not getting totally lost here. Okay, yeah, on here it says she starts creates a free group and advertisement and launch event on that prior Saturday. But I'm going to go back 1 second. So the first thing, why am I getting all confused here? Oh yeah, sorry. So the first thing she does is she looks at the month and decides, okay, what obstacles do I have in like coming up? So are there holidays this month? That's something that I always used to get. I used to call Amy and be like, hey, I'm going to start my challenge group on Monday. And she's like, that's Memorial Day. Are you sure you want to do that? And I'm like, oh, dang it. So look for obstacles that are coming up. Timing of holidays, which also is a good thing to know for your event. If you're going to theme out your events, you want to know these things so that you can make your theme around the holiday. Okay. You want to remember that if you keep your challenge group later in the month, not later, but like mid-month, that you will be able to hit Success Club in the beginning of the month. So try to like strategically put your your challenge group to start maybe the 2nd or 3rd week of the month so that you can have your challenge points by the time it starts. Okay, so first Monday she has this coach training. On the let me go to the next slide. So she has the first Monday is the coach training. During that time, she's putting together her free group. She's advertising for it, okay? So let's say on the first there, it says create free group advertisement and launch event. So maybe she has an event on Facebook, and I'll do another call another day about events on Facebook. But she has her free event that she starts on Facebook. She has her advertisement. So like a post, Kaylee calls them the meat posts. She calls it on here the jabs. So all throughout that week, she's going to bring up things about the free group in her posts. And with that, she'll have call to actions. And I'll go over that next. She also then starts the second week, she starts advertising for the challenge group. So all those people who were just in the free group, she's going to talk to them after she just built a very good relationship with them and bring them in, invite them into her challenge group. So it's very strategic in the fact that you're bringing all these people in for your free group. You're going to pour your heart and soul into everybody in this free group that only lasts like 7 days, 6-7 days, so that she can move them right along into her challenge group. Okay. So there's no skipping a beat here. During that time frame, she's, putting her jabs in, and then when she starts her challenge group launch event, the free group starts, okay? During the free group, she's putting jabs in for the challenge group. Then she's going to invite those free challengers into that regular challenge group that starts on the 3rd Monday of the month. So I hope you're following me here. After that, she has her business opportunity. So this actually, I don't know why I was so lost on this at first, but she invites them after her challenge group starts on the 3rd Monday, she starts inviting and posting about her business opportunity call, okay? And during the business opportunity call, she's inviting and putting posts out. And then after that, she continues to invite to her basic or coach basics, or you can call it destined to rock the basics. Okay. So instead of just stopping at the call, she continues to invite them into the coach training. Does that make sense? So at all times, she's going to be inviting. At all times, she knows exactly what she's going to be posting about. At all times, she knows who she's going to be talking to and focusing on. And it's spread out in a way that she's not worrying about 2 at one time. Does that make sense? This she does every single month, except for some months you have to be flexible. So like sometimes there's events with Beachbody, things that you have to work around. And that's why you should always look out at least 2 months. So have your month that you're working on now, and then the next month already planned out, and then an idea for the month after that. Okay, so next slide. With all that, you have your tasks, and you want to make sure that you're setting aside those time in your planner for those tasks, for each and everything. So for example, go back. We have our challenge group that's coming up. Like on the 8th, it says create challenge group advertisement and launch event. You need to make sure you have time in your planner to create that event, to create the posts for it, to create ideas for it, and to be strategic about it. So every week you need to have a planning session with yourself to figure out what you're going to be doing that week, what you're going to be creating, when you're going to be creating it, and how it's going to work for you. Okay, so side note, and we can talk about calendars another day, but that's when you can like have a Sunday where you have a planning session with yourself, or a weekend day where you can literally only be sitting down with your calendar and blank paper and charting out ideas for the week. Okay, so setting aside time in your planner for tasks. Now, I love this picture. It's so funny. Turning your plan into action. This is where most people get stuck, including me, big time, okay? What do we do in our events? What do we post about? How do you think of these ideas? And that's what she talked about next. Okay, so we have this event. So right there on that calendar, we had 3 events that we were inviting to: challenge group, business opportunity, and free group. So what you're going to do is you're going to, some people like to theme out their groups, some people don't. So I'm going to use my last group as an example. It was called, or the one that I'm starting soon, called March Meltdown, okay? what you do is you grab a piece of paper just like this. You can create your little pinwheel. I can give you this paper too. I'll download it into the group if you want to just use this. Kaylee has this paper, I guess. You're muted. I don't know what you're saying. Anyway, you're going to theme out your event, or just whatever you want to call it. If you like to, some people really like to theme it out. I tried to theme it out, but I'm not very creative. And and you're going to write down the name of the idea. I'm opening up the chat so I can see what you're saying. Oh yes, I'll give you yours. No problem. I'll give you the one that I posted. No problem. Okay, and yes, Brittany, we can get a Google Doc with the calendar example in it. Absolutely. Okay, good. Yeah, so you're going to put the name of the event in the middle. And so, like, for example, this was the slide that she was showing us, coaching opportunity. And it says, turn your passion into your paycheck. So that was her topic at the time that she was, theming out. That was her theme. Okay, so this is my mess. So it's not as pretty of the pinwheel, okay? Like I said, it doesn't need to be pretty. It's your own chicken scrap, right? Yeah, thanks a lot, Kaylee. Okay, so this was my March group. See how pretty it looks in the middle? It says March group. And then I have about 9 topics on here, okay? Maybe a little less. So one of them is testimonials. You look at the top left, you'll see it says testimonials. To the top right, it talks about Beachbody On Demand and the library of all the programs. And I just wrote down some things, just jotted some ideas down, like you won't get bored, saves time, gives you real results from top trainers who put the programs together. You can work out in your living room, in your pajamas. That's another part for Beachbody On Demand. Another one said we're going to, another key point of the March group is that we're going to dedicate 1 week to meal planning. So when you're brainstorming ideas to talk about, what you want to do is you want to think about the person that you had in mind, the person that we were just talking about earlier today, and think about the objections that person has, which are probably the same objections you had when you got started. And think about their life. So like maybe a busy mom isn't going to want to go to the gym because it takes literally 2 to 3 hours to go to the gym when you have kids. It takes 2 to 3 hours to go to the gym if you don't have kids, but you're busy and you don't want to be going to the gym. You don't want to be bringing your kids to the stupid daycare. I'm sorry if you guys do that. I'm sorry. No judgment. If you bring the kids to the daycare, that's fine. But I really got annoyed by bringing my kids to the daycare, and I'm always like looking around to see if everything's cleaned. Is that ridiculous? Maybe I'm just a germaphobe. Anyway, other things that you can talk about are the apps and the notifications. I know Brittany said in our group that she's done a challenge group before, but this time it was the first time in the app, and she loves the idea that you have to log in to the app, put in your program, put in your pictures, and you get notifications on the app. There's a lot on the app that you can talk about. So that was another thing on here. Pop-up mini challenges. I know a lot of you do Wacky Wednesdays and Motivation Mondays and Weekend Warriors. So that's something else that you can talk about. So these are all just different areas of the challenge group that you can just jot down and think about. Hold on one second. My dog is really annoying the heck out of me. Okay, I couldn't stand the whining. Another thing I wrote in here, and it was really small, but it was something that I ended up talking about. It says get fit for Lent, because like I said, you have to think about what's going on at that time. And while I was advertising for my group, it was Lent, the beginning of Lent. So that's something else that you can think about. So you're going to do your little brainstorm, and then over on the other paper, it has the numbers of just the topics, okay? Just to make it look cleaner and help yourself be more organized. That's my list for my March group, okay? These are some of the posts that I created around that list then, okay, in my event. I also put a lot of these on my timeline. So the one with Cooper eating French toast, well, that was because people always ask me, like, I don't want to have to make my kids one meal and then me another meal, So talking about the fact that everybody in your family is going to love this, don't worry about it. You don't have to make 3 meals in your family. Okay, the other one at the bottom talks about, okay, so I love to eat, and I love to eat real food, but I eat too much of it. So it might be clean, but I eat a ton. So these stupid, awesome containers keep me on track with making sure that I have the right portions. Then there's a testimonial, like a before-after picture. And then also we went live. I went live about Beachbody On Demand, and I went live with Jessie talking about flat belly foods, okay? So these are all because of the brainstorm that I already created, and so I didn't have to think twice. Now, because you already made this brainstorm, you also can remember throughout your day to take pictures of certain things. So like if you know ahead of time that you're going to be talking about the app, then maybe one day you won't post in the app. You'll wait for that little like reminder to come up, and then you screenshot the reminder because you know you're going to be talking about that. You know what I'm saying? So having it already brainstormed will make you think differently about what you have to collect for those posts. So you don't have to absolutely make all of the posts at first, but having the ideas and a plan for them is always good. I know some coaches, so here's some extra tips. Some coaches like to write out their posts first. So they have their posts already written, and then throughout the days, they will take pictures. Some people do it backwards. They take the pictures throughout the day, and then they write the posts later. Think about the thing that you struggle with the most, and that's probably the thing you should do first so you don't, procrastinate. Okay, so those are let me stop screen sharing here. So, okay, I want to know about what you do for your strategic plan every month and things that you do that help keep you on track with posting about your challenge group. So, like, does anybody on here already do a brainstorm like that? You can unmute yourself and talk. No?
Nobody wants to say they don't.
I didn't. I didn't. So I don't, don't feel.
Nope. I'm going to be honest. And I want to, and I really want, and
You're breaking up a lot, Amy.
No. Am I broken up? Am I frozen? Okay, sorry.
Okay, you might not be now. Try again.
Try again.
Try again. We want to hear what you were saying. Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. No, I mean, don't be like afraid to be like, I don't do this, because I don't do this. I haven't done this. And I'm always, my mind is never focused on my family when it needs to be focused on my family. It's never focused on my work when it needs to be focused on my work. My mind is always Beachbody, 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 Beachbody. And it's not fair. It's not fair to my family. It's not fair to my job, my employer. It's just not right. So, I mean, I need this in my life. I need to have some kind of organization just so I can be present in my life. And so I think this is going to be such a relief. Like, how good is this? It's going to be like a weight off my shoulders to be able to be like, here's my plan. Everything's planned out. I can focus on my family completely. I'm excited. I can't wait to start doing this.
Completely agree. And I know it looks like chicken scratch, but this chicken scratch really helped me a lot with my plan for my event. And then my calendar is set up for the month. So mine's a little different because I got started later. And I'm going to try to morph mine into what hers looks like, because I really like the idea of starting training the first week and then making sure my challenge group is later in the month so I can advertise for it, and making sure my free group is before my challenge group. So I will be.
So here's something. Here's something just to throw at you, because April's coming up and Easter is on the 16th. And I'm sure people are going to want to do like a chocolate Easter detox or some kind of candy detox. Well, that's not in the beginning of the month. So that's like where we're going to have to just, do you have any thoughts of what you're going to be doing in April about that?
So it's funny that you say that, because I actually do have it written down to make sure I do like a candy detox afterwards. However, I'm going to tell you what
3-day refresh, something.
I'm going to tell you what I've noticed with my own fitness that I'm not ready to detox the next day after a holiday. Like
a lot of people give up chocolate for Lent.
No, that's true. And so I don't want to detox until probably beginning of April of May, when I'm like,
May.
oh my gosh, it's a new month. Get out. It's a new month. And I'm like thinking about summer. You know what I'm saying? So I personally thought about that, and I even have it written in here, free detox, but I was thinking about it today, and I'm like, you know what? I won't be ready. Like, I will be trying to come down from the holidays, get the kids back to school. So I'll probably wait a good week or two after it to do my free group.
Okay, I like that. And just looking at my calendar right now, like I'm thinking, this is so good. I'm so excited. Earth Day. I can plan a post around Earth Day right now or go outside with my kids. Or Good Friday, Palm Sunday. I love to twist up my little palms and put them on my head and do a post about that. Like, I'm excited. Like, we don't know what to post about, but if we just look at our days of our months, and you can come up with great posts.
Yeah, and if you know what season you're in, are you in business opportunity season? Are you in challenge group season? Are you in free group season? Like, as long as you know the season you're in and you brainstorm, then you can easily start thinking of ideas. Another thing to remember is that, oh my gosh, these dogs, I'm going to lift one of them up. When you have, people always say, think outside the box, I actually have an easier time when I'm thinking inside the box and people give me parameters. Oh my gosh.
All right, I'm going to take this opportunity real quick. I don't want to stop your train of thought, but I wanted to go back to something that Amy said before. And I know I'm really new, so whatever I've got to say, you guys have probably said and thought of like 10 times already, but maybe you haven't. So Amy, you talk about like being present and being in one place. And like, I feel like I'm pulled in a billion different directions, especially with a 6-month-old. And I work full time during the day. So one of the things that has helped me try and meet my goal of posting like 3 times a day and being able to map out what kind of posts I'm doing and how I'm hitting like my post targets, I use like a planning app. And I talked about this with Ashley and the pros and cons of it, but I use Buffer. So like the day before or the night before, or even like on a Sunday, I'll think, oh, this is a good post for a Monday morning. And I schedule it for the following Monday morning. Or I think about what time of day and what day of the week I want to be sending these messages. And I plan it out all ahead of time. Or maybe I'll just do 2 a day, because then I'm bound to find something in my day that I want to share.
I love it.
I saw that you did that, and I saw your post. I saw that it said that, and I thought, wow, that is a leader. That is going to be a leader on Team Destiny. That's honestly, that's exactly what I thought when I saw that. Like, because you're going for a new coach or whatever, but there's so much signs of so much success already in what you're doing during your journey.
I hope so.
I was just thinking the same thing. Like, I got on a few calls with her and Ashley, kind of by accident, and right away, I'm like, Brittany is going to be a leader on Team Destiny. It's just her personality. It's just who she is. I can see that trait in her. And now you just said that. I'm like, Brittany, go live on Team Destiny, and don't, like, we have new coaches that need to hear this. Like, they're just still fumbling through it, but you figured it out like that. Like, you're like, nope, I gotta fix this.
Like, I told Ashley this, like, I'm really big on like not stepping on toes either. So I don't want to like go live on the Team Destiny Facebook page.
You are Team Destiny.
You are Team Destiny. We embrace you with a big hug. Come here. Come here, go hug it.
Thank you.
Yes, go live. We want to hear from you.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Yes.
Cool.
You rock.
All right.
Share that with the team, because you will help so many coaches.
Okay.
And Brittany, like I said before, when we, because we've been doing this for a while, we kind of sometimes forget what it's like, and we forget what people don't know. You know what I mean? So it's hard to remember what we already have talked about. And even though we might have talked about it 5 million times, it might have been a year ago to a totally different set of people. You know what I mean? So you discussing it with people and you bringing it up is awesome, and you can never repeat something good enough times. You know what I mean? So yeah.
Cool.
Awesome.